early.
As as we're talking about these NFTs and the Web3 world, let me bring up this little prompt right here. The secondary market is the primary market.
So okay,
So, I mean, I feel like in NFT land or Web3, you know what I mean? Yeah, it essentially is. Like I agree with this statement. I feel like
so the initial sales don't really matter as much.
I wouldn't say the initial sales don't matter. I think it matters in the sense that, well, that's interesting.
Because one
You
could
know what I'm
say,
saying?
the primary market, seeing how it does in the primary market, propels how the secondary even reacts.
That's
right?
and that's kind of where I
It
see
could,
with it.
you know.
Like, but also too, something that I've noticed just with markets, it's like how you're promoting the thing. So, on the set, like, I can't explain what it is that makes the Bitcoin Angel go crazy on the secondary market,
Club, go to
or Bored Ape,
$200,000.
you know what I'm saying, crypto punks, all these types of things. But they were on the, like, when they were initially released, like, nobody went crazy for them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Bitcoin Angel, I don't remember. Because I got it primary, but I don't remember if it was hard or
Bored
not.
Apes went up relatively quick, but it was still at the point, even when it was at 1, 2, 3, 4 ETH, we still didn't see
It go crazy.
multiplying by 10 more. Like,
Yeah. No,
that's a
100%. But like, something happened. I would say that the secondary is the primary market because it still has life. Like, it still does, like, essentially it's still doing what it is on initial release in the it has the potential to, you know what I'm saying? The fact that, whoever created Bored Ape Yacht Club, like, they're still getting sales as if they dropped it primary, on the primary market. But not having, I mean, it's interesting because I don't know if they're doing the marketing, or if, like, holders of these Bored Apes are doing the marketing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know who's the driver
I mean,
of the popularity.
I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely spread out. It's
Yeah,
definitely spread
it's a
out,
little
at
bit of
least with
both.
successful communities like that, right? But yeah, I would say I agree too. Because that perpetuity, man, it's everything. And one thing that really distincts the two is, the primary market, just the price of what it was in the primary market can be vastly different from what it's going for currently.
Mhm.
So just the royalty of what it could be going on the secondary market can be
More
infinite
than what
times
you
more
got.
than what
Yeah,
the primary was.
exactly. And that's,
So then at
yeah.
this point, it's like, the primary market, it's a afterthought at this
Yeah.
point. We're never going there. We're like, especially with a project.
Well, then
with a
who's
board-
gonna buy?
like,
Who's
no,
gonna buy it
No,
first?
but I'm saying, like, a Bored Ape, like,
Yeah.
it's never going to $280. Like, I don't see it going to $280 again.
Mhm.
Like, do I see it dropping? Sure. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But from 200,000 to 280, it's like, no. It's like this market that it's in right now,
It's now
and wherever
set.
it fluctuates,
This is the
it's
new
set.
primary.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the new primary.
Yeah, because you can't get it nowhere
Literally,
else.
look at what a Bored Ape is like. If you have 5 Bored Apes, you literally have over $1 million worth in NFT.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
but
And it's funny because it's funny too. I think people need to also realize, I'm just saying this, I don't know if people don't realize it, but it's something that I had to realize when I started, like, investing in assets that were like goods, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that thing is worth that doesn't mean you have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to find somebody to pay that amount for it. You know what I'm saying? That's but like, if you got a Bored Ape, you're good, because, like, there's people in line for them right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's somebody that wants it for $200,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? So you're good, but, like,
put something under a floor price, man. People
yeah,
will
that
get
shit
it.
will go.
People
You know
will
what I'm
get it.
saying?
Put it under a floor price, it will go.
Yeah, I hear that. So this next one is interesting to me.
Okay.
Old media is re-centralizing while new media is decentralizing.
This one I really like.
I agree
this
with.
This one was like poetic.
This is
wow.
spot on.
I said, wow.
This is spot
how
on.
this resonated to me was like, literally think about even news stations, like traditional news stations. Like
Yeah.
now they realize like, yo, a lot of people are getting informed by social media. We should start incorporating, yo,
Yeah.
Twitter live tweets, live
Yeah.
all
We
this shit.
need to get
And
on
it was, and
TikTok.
they
We
were
need to
behind
do
the
like,
curve
yeah.
even in that way. And now when we got this metaverse and all things of that nature, it's kind of like old media. It's like, yo,
No, come back to social media.
yeah, and now they're like, oh shit. So now they're just, now it's no longer ignoring or saying no to. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, they've been receiving the info
Yeah.
like this, and we're late
Yeah.
because you guys have already chosen these new media outlets that have native to these spaces or
Yeah.
have met you in these spaces,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, this is convenient, or this is authentic to me, or
Yeah.
this is resonating with me. Why? I don't care about what's traditional or
Yeah.
where people have been known to
What's
receive
traditional
or
is not
view,
what
or no,
is interesting to me or important to
exactly.
me. Like, because like we're even
Movies,
talking about, because
Netflix,
like that's the
like
thing, like the
streaming,
TV, like motherfuckers are watching shit on their phones, and it's like not even a question. Like
at all.
it's
I
not
watched this
you know
whole
what I'm saying.
movie
It's
on my
not even
phone.
a question, and there's still people who are just like, no, my thing is meant to be watched on a TV screen. My thing is meant to be watched in a movie theater. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, okay,
do
you
the
can
work to
be
get
like
people to
that,
go
like, you
there.
know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying,
saying?
right?
Like
You
no,
know,
100%. Because like the thing is, if you are in media, you are in the business of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for marketing. So
right,
like just continue to do that, and that hundreds of thousands of dollars is just going to get less people in. But like if that's your method, then go ahead and do it. But
right,
like these other things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
these other mediums, these other forms, they're just happening. Like and we don't decide. You know what I'm saying?
right,
We don't decide. You have to just observe what's happening and move where you want to be, like where your end
100%,
goal is, like move in that direction once you observe how people are moving in that world. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But it's we're kind of past the whole like throw money around and get people to go where you want them to go. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like
right,
that's,
right,
you can do that and you'll get some people 100%, but
right.
like that's not where we're moving, and we're not, and we don't move backwards as people.
And
You know what
now,
I'm saying? Like we
exactly,
don't move
now,
backwards as a human race. We rarely move backwards technology wise.
in new media, like in this era, people are realizing you don't have to go towards this one centralized place to begin informed. There are so many places that inform niche communities. Like
hundred
this is
percent,
for
100%.
you, and people are gonna be like, I'm going to go with that every time.
Yeah.
Every time, as opposed to some shit that's generalizing, that shit is
General.
not really addressing me,
Yeah.
or a lot of people like that don't include me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
isn't my news, or this is not how I want to be informed, or this is not how I want to be entertained. So, very, very a potent, statement for
This
sure.
is interesting too, I think. Media needs subscriber governance.
This was interesting. I took this as more so as media should be very conscientious as to the people that are tuned in, who are tuned into them, and be like, "What's your take? What's
Huh.
your say?
I'm
What's
on both
that's
sides of the
you know?"
fence of
And
this.
and I guess it's more so of a, at the same time too, media is overarching. So I guess that's something we could get into, because I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
see many things where it's like, no, there isn't any subscriber governance needed pertaining to like what media we're talking
Yeah.
about. And with other things, I could be like, sure, the people that you are, I guess, appeasing to, or whatever the content is for, I could see how it would benefit if you had like an open forum or an open thing where it's like, yo, like, you should have a say in this shit too. So it varies. It varies, but I'm trying to think of some specific things where I could be like, yeah, like I don't know why this would need governance, and like, yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
I think when we talk about governance, um my understanding of governance is, decision making ability. Is
okay,
that accurate of what governance is? Like
yeah.
being able to make decisions about how things should go or like what should be done.
But you know what? I just came to mind right now too when I think about governance. If we're thinking about new media, if we're thinking about maybe a company that's built, that's
It's
created in
already
a Web
operating.
3.0 land space,
Oh, okay.
and it's a DAO, right? If it's
Yeah.
a decentralized autonomous organization, it's already built as an
With
infrastructure, like from the community. So
yeah,
therefore, it's like, no, it would need subscriber governance,
yeah.
right? Because like the ENS token, for instance, like the dot ETH, right?
Hmm.
That ENS, like, one can view it as free money, but it also have an ENS token gives you say in like the governance or how this moves forward. Now, obviously, how much you have, I think, is commensurate with how big your say is,
Okay.
but it basically enables you a say in how something evolves over time. So if something is built within this space and created within this space, then I could totally see how that statement, you know what I'm saying, stands.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear that, and I think I see why uh people want subscriber governance and community governance, but I think sometimes there can be like too many cooks in the kitchen type vibes.
Okay,
Like
okay, okay,
I feel like we over we over romanticize like having governance.
okay.
Like for me, there's certain companies that I believe in and I would put my money into and invest in, and I would let them just do their thing. I would trust their decision. I for certain companies, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like, I feel like I don't need governance over like how y'all decide to do things. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I'm investing in y'all's ability to do that. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
Um, but when we talk about media, okay, because media is so vast. Like I look at media as basically anything that you see, hear, read, anything. So it can be films. And like when I've heard like in these NFT spaces, like people, you know want, when we talk about using uh NFTs to fund films,
right.
and now you're giving NFT holders like say in how the story goes and all this type of stuff. I don't think that's necessarily a great thing. Like, what would Harry Potter be if J.K. Rowling took advice from everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right. And I think that
you know
would
what I'm
be
saying? It wouldn't be what it is.
I think that would be a clear cut of
Or Star
example.
Wars and George Lucas.
I
Like,
think that'd be a clear cut example of where it wouldn't be the best though, right?
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Like, I
right.
just don't think I don't think it's always needed. You know what I'm
Facts,
saying?
facts,
I
facts.
just think I think it's romanticized. Like I think it's kind of romanticized in the sense of like, oh, I would like to have a say in this, but like, do you have a valuable say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
and if we're just giving says to anybody who owns, or anybody who has anyone who's a subscriber, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
then we're getting a lot of takes from people who may not have the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you know what I mean,
I
have the
know what
right
it is.
take.
I know what
You
it
know what I
is.
mean?
I know what
So
you're saying. Yeah. I
that's
know what
kind
you're
of how I
saying.
feel about that one. But
Okay.
I do believe in some kind of like community governance, just not like across the board.
Right.
You know what I
100%.
mean? Um, you
I
want to
mean,
touch on this
I mean,
communication is key
we
one?
could we don't
You ain't got to
we
touch
could
on
just let
every.
that
It is
sit
what it
for a
is.
second,
Communication
because
is
it is
key.
very key. But I don't think we need to delve on that.
Yeah,
You should definitely do that on your own time. It's very key.
communication is key. I mean, but like communication in what way? Like, what are we talking about exactly? Because are we talking about communication between?
I guess in terms of, I guess let's put it in the perspective of NFT projects, or
Okay,
as a
communicating with your
communicating with your base,
yeah,
communicating with your community,
your
keeping people
community
up to
on
date.
your
You know what I'm
Discord and all
saying?
of that.
Exactly, like
I got that.
making sure people are always informed. And even in life, that shit just really leaks over. You know what
And
I'm
that's what
saying?
I was. That's what
Always
I was saying.
make
That sounds like a
sure.
life thing for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Yeah, exactly. Even in
100%.
infrastructures within businesses or things of that nature, man, make sure everybody's on the same page. That's done by communicating. Shit might be awkward sometimes. Guess what? It doesn't matter. Communicate.
Algorithmic feeds are failing.
Yeah, this one is
This
just as
I
true.
agree with.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Because
I don't know if
I
I
don't know
agree
who
with all
this is the
the
thing. But
way.
this is the thing though. To me personally, I'm just like, I don't know how they're supposed to
How are they
work.
supposed to work
So they're
exactly?
failing
They might
because
be doing
I know
exactly
what
what
they
they're supposed
say
to be
they're
doing.
supposed to do, but
Yeah.
I
For
don't.
them, the person making the
Yeah, like who
algorithm,
does
it's
it?
doing exactly
Who
what they
is
wanted to do.
benefiting off that? Yeah, so I'm
A
like,
hundred
no, to
percent.
that point it is, because
It's failing us, the
I can
creators.
gauge it somewhat through some insights, but there's really no way I can really. And I've tried to
Yeah.
influence upon it or impress
Yeah.
upon it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't. I really don't know. I really the control I have over it's really finite
Because
in how it is right now.
let's think about things that run. I mean, I feel like everything runs off an algorithm. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like
facts.
when in this sense, we're probably talking about social media algorithms, but like, I mean, yeah, like I don't know if they're failing, dog. I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like
Right.
people talk about how they don't like when they think of something or they say something and now they're seeing it on their feed is maybe
Right.
like but I think people do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people
No,
don't like it, but
no.
like I've literally, and I'm not saying like I represent all people, but like I was one of those people that was like, I don't know how I feel about it, but then I find myself buying things that I need because it was shown to me at the right moment. And
Right.
it's like, I actually need this. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna sit on my
You're
like
like,
high horse and be like, how did
got it.
you know? I'm gonna like, no, I
Yeah.
actually need this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Like, and it's right here in front of me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that goes with like valuable information content too. Like, not just products. Like, sometimes I'm literally thinking about, oh, like, how do you get sponsorships? And then, I see a fucking ad on maybe, and maybe it's like a salesy person doing something, but like that leads me to the education that I'm looking for. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like sometimes it's like a scammy type of or spammy type of thing, but that leads me to where it
But
gives me an
yeah.
inkling of like, oh, let me look for this. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying?
But I would just be like, that's just you more so tapping in and making it to your advantage. Like, yo, this is how it's working for me. So this is how I'm just like,
Yeah, and
it's
on the
working
other
this way,
hand,
this way.
like algorithm, when I hear the algorithm is failing, like me as a creator, it's like, okay, I'm doing all the things to get my shit out there, but it's not
It's
changing.
not
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Right.
like, yeah, the algorithm's failing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no, for
saying? Like,
sure.
I
For
read
sure.
the
Yeah.
I read
Right.
how to manipulate the algorithm, and what I
Right.
did didn't work, so
Right.
I guess it's failing. And
And
that's like, I don't know if it's failing.
but
I think they're still not. There's they're
but
doing what they're
but
supposed to. They're
no,
not
but
worried about the creators. They're worried about getting in front
it,
of people.
exactly. So that, but yeah, that's what exactly. And I'm always I'm going to speak from the creator perspective, because it's like you're right. It is working for whoever's implementing the shit to work exactly to keep you, I guess, as a consumer, as opposed to getting your shit off. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but yeah, to that point, I'm very interested to see what are, what I'm saying, what are the results of, what I'm saying, people not fucking with algorithms, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so how does it become like, I don't know, AI generated advertising and machine learning
Well, that's the thing.
marketing
Like,
and
I think the word algorithm is, well, it says algorithmic feeds
okay,
because algorithms are part of everything.
right,
Like that's that's like code and programming. Like anything that has any kind of you put in an input and it responds, that's an algorithm.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's being run. So it is going to be interesting to see how those develop in like the Web3 world and in like, AI and
For
all this
sure.
type of stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see like how that develops in like real life situations,
For
I
sure, for
guess,
sure, for
or
sure.
real world situations. Individual creators are sharing less and partnering more.
Yeah, I definitely even I found it funny just even through her recent IG posts. It's like literally how you can even share your
Oh yeah.
post now and be a
Yeah, big facts. Like
collaborator.
this
And
person and this person posted this.
yeah, because now it's like, some creators you already knew this if you just put two and two together, but now it's kind of being like, oh, yeah, let's join forces and join our demographics
Hmm.
together, and our shit's kind of in alignment, or it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense though. We're not forcing the thing, and boom, it would just be much more powerful that way. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
kind of like I feel like people are now doubling down on like amplifying what it is that they got going on, as
Yeah.
opposed to just being like, yo, it's just me. It's like no, people are starting to see. It's like, yo, it's so many things that go into a lot of things that you see, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Despite whatever name that might come across, you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
actual, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Screen,
Yeah, I agree.
kind of like how you were telling me before, like, how Vice might rent out all of their like services and things like that, but it's a HBO production,
Yeah.
and that's, even though that's at a larger scale, but that's basically what we're
It's
trying to say
basically what we're saying.
individuals are doing now,
That,
though.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? We're scaling our things up, and even like on video sets and things of that nature. It's like, yo, I'm about to get my lighting guy, I'm about to, get the gaffer, I'm about to get
Hmm.
my assistant director, I'm
Hmm.
about to get my other camera dude, I'm about to get my PA, about
Hmm.
things of that nature. It's like, yo, I used to just shoot the video,
Yeah.
just
Straight up.
and do everything.
Yeah.
But no, that's not what's gonna push through now.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly with all of that. So we can go on to the next one. The metaverse is driving aesthetics for a new
So
era.
it's very interesting. Did you
Driving
see that new
aesthetics.
pro? Did you see the new promo commercial for Adidas coming into the metaverse?
No.
Oh man, try
Although
to search
I
it.
did meet a dude that works for Adidas at
Oh,
Basel.
that's very tough.
Yeah.
Search it up real quick. You'll find it. Do Adidas, and BAYC. and you're gonna see this really cool
Oh,
commercial,
Bored Ape.
bro, of like, yo, Bored Ape and Punk's comic. It's really cool, bro. So, and like to this point, when they say that, I definitely see that, especially when these fashion brands and these, now they're gonna start going into the metaverse, and I'm thinking of just so many cool ways people might be able to just like try on things at the crib, like in the metaverse fashion, and like in terms of fitting, and like fitting rooms can like there'll never ever be a need for that anymore. Like I feel like
Fitting
so,
rooms? Oh,
yeah, I feel
because you
like,
can try on your clothes
bro,
virtually.
yeah, like bro, it'd be so go
Where
up,
would I find
go
this?
up. There's a so BAY right there. Enter the metaverse.
This?
Yeah, that yep. Crazy.
Let me see if I
Let's
can
put this,
share it.
y'all. We're gonna put this on the screen if y'all can. Y'all click in the live link, the link in my bio. You can see if you haven't seen this Adidas commercial. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if motherfuckers is gonna be able to hear it though.
Can you hear it? Okay, well, we'll play it after, but like you can see it too. Just watch it. It's pretty epic though. So it's looking. You're seeing the brand.
Yeah.
Like that's on the G Money, Punk's comic,
Oh
Bored
shit.
Ape, Yacht Club. It's a collab. And where are they
Between
going?
all three of
They're
these?
going to the Addyverse. You know what I'm saying? So here you go. Here's like you're seeing the collaborations. There they go.
Oh,
Like
that's
they're
interesting.
visiting the Adidas metaverse. You know,
Yeah, that's interesting.
and yeah, when you start thinking about how people are going to start customizing their avatars and things of that nature, if you look at like Artifact Studios, what they got going with their avatars, they got some next level drip that they're wearing, and they're going to have an opportunity for you down the line in the roadmap to be able to redeem that for actual
Is that what
clothing.
RFTK is? Artifact?
Yeah, so I was
Oh
yeah, I
shit.
was me myself. I was saying it out, but then I was like,
Yeah.
nah, that's yeah,
And that
makes
makes
sense,
sense. Oh my gosh, that's dope. But yeah, they're always doing interesting things,
bro.
especially with
They're
like
on next shits,
3D
bro.
modeling
They're
and
on
like all
next
this type of
shit.
shit.
They're
Their
on
shit
next
is
shit.
so
I
interesting.
mean, they got that
But
funding. You know what I'm saying? They got that eight
oh, do
million
they?
dollar funding back
Okay,
in
lit.
March.
Okay,
So
it's lit.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Um Intellectual property is still gold. That's
Yeah,
100%
man. That
facts.
IP,
Like
man.
all these things,
Metaverse or no metaverse,
that's what I'm
man. Make
saying.
sure
Like,
that shit's locked
but
down.
also I feel like it's becoming more like your like you have intellectual property,
Yeah.
like I have intellectual property. I think people when they hear intellectual property they would just think of like the Mickey Mouses and like the
Right,
Disneys,
right,
like
right.
no,
Right.
like those, yeah, those things are, but
Shit
like
that you literally created into fruition,
yeah, like
Like,
anything
yeah,
that you can make from your head into a tangible thing
yeah.
is intellectual property, and you
Right,
should treat it like it's your gold. You know what
right,
I'm saying? I
right.
think people give away, and I'm guilty of this too, like giving away just like ideas and giving away like things just because I don't, I would rather it be out there
Right,
than it be just like something that I gotta hold on to or whatever.
right.
But now I'm realizing that I like into all intellectual property is gold. Like, you know what I'm
100%.
saying? Doesn't
100%.
matter if if you're famous or not. Like, you have anything on
No,
that?
no, no. That's facts.
Yeah.
I agree.
The new big brands are open source.
Yeah, so I guess this one will be, I guess, will more so time will tell for real over time to see. Because when I think open source, kind of like when you think about Android, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
how that operates on that OS, like you can create your own apps, you can do whatever you want, you can put your own say into the mix, I guess. Whereas opposed to like Apple, right? It's
Yeah.
closed off. You're not
Yeah.
gonna just be able to just put whatever you want to the phone or things like that unless you like jailbreak it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just interested to see this. Like even when I see this, I'm more it's kind of broad to me.
Yeah.
I'm more so I want to see how that open source looks like when I think about branding, or like, earlier we were talking about fashion, like what Virgil did with this thing like that. So like what can like for creators, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can people impress upon and build upon current brands? Is that what it means? I don't know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But curious to see, what that means in this, in the landscape moving forward.
Yeah.
That's how I viewed it.
Yeah, to me this kind of goes back to the governance
Governance
thing.
thing, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
like,
figured, right?
yeah, I think there's a space for being being able to have input on how something works. I just don't know if everybody should have that capability,
No,
you know
fuck,
what I'm saying? Or if that should be open to
I
everybody.
just got a
You
little
know what I'm saying?
comment real quick. Kanye, the new sheriff at LV. I heard that. I don't know if it's official, but they did say something. They did. I did hear
Really?
some mention of that. It makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense.
Is
Uh,
that who he was yelling at? Like, should have hired him before he got the Nike deal?
I don't.
There was like
I don't know if he
it was
was
somebody
trying.
that he was screaming about, like, why don't y'all hire me or some shit like that. Do
I
you remember
can't
what I'm talking
remember.
about though?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it might have very well been Nike, and that's why he had switched over. Because
Oh,
remember,
okay.
originally he was on Nike, but I didn't
Yeah.
think they
No,
was
but
trying
I'm
to keep
saying
him.
like
It could have been.
there was
It
a
could have
like a
very well been.
luxury, like a designer brand
Brand.
that he
Okay.
was saying like he had told them about his ideas or something like that, and they
Yeah,
like
he was
laughed
beefing.
at
Yeah,
him or something
he
like
was
that.
beefing. He was beefing that Virgil got the spot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wait.
Oh, he
So it
said,
was
yeah.
LV.
Oh, yeah. Okay, bet he confirmed it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was a time when he was like, yeah, like, but shit comes full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
because because Kanye's probably feeling like he put everybody on type shit. Because
yeah,
there was that line, like he was like 06, 07, like he was running around with the Karl Lagerfeld
yeah,
and the Taz Arnold, and
yeah.
they was definitely soaking up a lot of game. And at that time, like Kanye was running around with Don C,
Uh-huh.
and then he was running with Virgil,
Yeah,
so um, I definitely see how you can see that too. But I feel like with Virgil was fitting, but yeah, I would think Kanye. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, it makes sense. We can go on to. Oh yeah. As far as these new big brands are open, and then
Will
even like a
LV
brand
be
like that,
open
open
source?
source.
You
That's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying. Like
saying? Yeah.
even
I
something
know
like
they're
that.
going into the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? Louis in the metaverse. Something they already have like this little gameplay type
Yeah,
thing.
I guess I need to know like what an open source brand looks
Looks
like
like
what
right,
that looks like. You know
like
what I'm
right,
saying?
like what
Like,
is one
am
right
I gonna
now?
be
What is the
able to
model
go
of
in
that?
and like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Do some shit with LV just because I got an
Right.
idea?
And I guess that, like, yeah, that's why I refer to, like, Linux, like the Linux operating system. Like, you
Yeah,
can literally go in and make your computer work
yeah,
exactly how the fuck you want it to. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And and you can go ahead and download other people's modules and do it like that. So I know, like, in that basis, you can. But a brand, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna see if there's any brands right now
yeah.
that are operating like that.
All right. Mainstream NFTs need a cheaper blockchain, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
100%.
sure. Yeah, because
Um,
I think, like, I don't know, like, it's not going anywhere, and I still, for some reason, I do view those as like cream of the crop NFTs. But if we're talking about mass adoption, you're going to need to enable people to either, you know what I'm saying, buy in fiat, or be able to resort to other alternatives and make sure platforms like that are operating like off of Solana and Tezos are up to speed. You know what I'm saying? And I know
yeah,
Solana is, prioritizes scalability. When ETH is more so on its privacy tip. So, Solana's trying to onboard the world,
hmm,
and when you think about a majority of the world, like even $50 is crazy for a gas fee. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people in the
big
world.
facts.
So
And
never
we're
mind
upwards of what
300,
350,
400 in
400, and
select part of
like,
the day, so
bro, like
that
it's
doesn't work. That
crazy.
doesn't work.
And that's just like
You know.
for one transaction.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right. That
saying?
doesn't
Like
work.
that's on top of the transaction itself. Like it's crazy. It's crazy what gas fees are just to, utilize the blockchain. But I feel like, as time goes on, that like those issues will be addressed.
Yeah,
Like
for
it has
sure.
to become mainstream, I
For
think, or
sure.
like as it becomes more mainstream.
Right.
Um and to get more people adopted to it, because I mean, even the beauty of the blockchain was being like initially with like Bitcoin and stuff like that, was the speed of your transactions, and the you're supposed to eliminate that middleman so you don't have to pay those fees to that middleman. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that
Right.
was part of it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's not
Like
like it's
when
going to the
everybody brings up the
artists.
Western
It's going to
Union
the
thing.
miners.
Yeah, everybody brings up the Western Union comparison of like, yeah, like you send $100 through Western Union, but you only get like 80 or
Right.
90 because they've taken their cut. So it's
Right.
like, yeah, I would rather do Western Union than pay
Right.
$500 in gas fees, if we're
Right.
being honest. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, like that shit is. I'm sure that shit's going to get figured out, because that is kind of the point
Right.
of
But that's why, yeah, that's
yeah,
why you got the mother joints, you know?
yeah, you know what I'm saying?